What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about Opendoor. I want to go over some of the data points, break it down what's moving it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So Opendoor is up 4.4%, 697 the low, 763 the high, but still very low volume. So 62.6 million shares being traded, 306 is the average. During the pre-market, it was largely just piggybacking off of the broader market, and a lot of the market was fearful over this. So increased tensions between China and the States. So not necessarily the best, but we are seeing a nice push higher because of Powell. So at the time of doing this video, he's actually doing Q&A right now, but ultimately, he did say this, and this is what the market was really looking at. So outlook hasn't changed much since September Fed meeting. So last time Powell spoke, he didn't bring up monetary policy whatsoever. Market really wanted him to say this because the last FOMC minutes did state that multiple members want a cut over the next couple of meetings. So this pretty much does solidify that, and most likely over the next couple of trading days, the market will actually start to price it in now. So definitely something positive came out of that. Who knows though? During the Q&A, it's kind of like all over the place. Anything could be stated, but for right now, the market's really liking what they are hearing. As far as Opendoor today, nothing really coming out from them. No SEC filings, no press releases or anything like that. It did lag during the morning. It took a while to get going. And I think in reality, Opendoor is still a very big momentum play. So if you're having less and less volume, you're not going to see those crazy bursts higher, which is rather unfortunate. I did actually just post this one on my Patreon as a buy signal. I already do have one for Opendoor. So if you're kind of curious, pop over there and take a look. But this is a competitor to Opendoor. Ticker is 𝗪𝗧𝗧𝗧. This is actually how Opendoor should be acting today as far as price point. Very low volume with this stock, of course, but this is how Opendoor should be. It should be easily at 8+%, but it is always heavily manipulated. So that's the downside of Opendoor, and that's kind of the downside of a lot of stocks that have a heavy retail presence. Aside from that though, looking at shorts at the time of doing this video, they are increasing 1.7 million shares. So factoring in that we are having lower volume, they can kind of influence the price a little bit. But with Powell, what he just stated, that's pretty good, and I think that's an understatement, but 21.8% of the free float's being shorted. Works out to be 154.8 million shares overall being shorted. Looking at the options, 11 million in calls, 5.02 in puts. 47% of all the options being done are bullish in nature. So ever since Powell kind of started to speak, you are seeing a lot of good optimism. From a bull standpoint, you see a consensus for it to be roughly around that $9 to $10 range. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub kind of 750 to 7. So definitely a lot more upside is anticipated. These are all the transactions occurring on the secondary market above $100,000. So 6.8 million, that was the first one right there. And that's what really kickstarted this push lower. Unfortunately, it was very volatile actually during the pre-market. And aside from that though, we have 2.3, 2.1 million. These are all the transactions occurring on the dark pool, a lot of which have been after and leading into Powell. So 1028 to it looks like 1144. So I'm organizing it based on premium, just on a side note. So if you want, feel free to pause it and look at the actual timestamp and so forth. But right now with it at 763, it is currently trading right below this pivot point. So 765, if able to close above that, then you could see a nice surge, a kind of continued push higher based on that. Aside from all that, there really hasn't been all that much in news. So nothing really speculative or anything like that. So over the next couple of trading days, just watch for it to get above that 10-day moving average, showing more of a continued push higher for the momentum. But you still do need a lot of volume, similar to how it went up. That was just a lot of good catalysts. And right now, I think a lot of investors are just at the show me stage. Show me what you are going to do with all these new executives, big updates. Show us, prove us. So at the end of the day, that is what most likely needs to happen in order for it to get back to kind of the 52-week highs. But nonetheless, with Powell, what he just mentioned, rate cuts, that could be a very good broad market catalyst, and most likely will be starting to get priced in. So this could also in among itself push it above that 10-day moving average. Because of all the recent price action, you see stochastic RSI very oversold, so that could really stand to benefit over the next couple of trading days. So aside from that, there really hasn't been all that much in analyst ratings or anything like that. So let me know your viewpoint on Opendoor. Have you been buying? Are you selling? What's your kind of general thoughts on Opendoor? And do you see it getting to kind of maybe 52-week highs in the short term, or do you think it's kind of peaked? So I feel like sentiment right now is somewhat mixed on it. So what's your general thoughts on all that? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And then one final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point and bangers. So I put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades. Pop over there and check that out. And then dependent on how things do play out, I'll do a PM video if there's some big changes or whatever else, but this is a pretty good summary of how shorts are doing and everything else. So let me know your thoughts, and then with all that, appreciate all of you watching.